Alright, VloggerDome video. Yeah, it's actually VloggerDome on YouTube channel video. So I did make a YouTube channel called VloggerDome, and the idea will be to work on a TV show kind of thing. Once a month, whoever wishes to participate, will attempt to produce something called a show and have it, be really kick-ass. And the general idea is philosophy, and obviously one of the elements of that philosophy will be these darker elements of the dilemma of being smart on planet Earth, and the recognition of what that entails, in that you have to recognize that, oh man, a really dumb system built to me, and that system is horribly inefficient and horribly difficult to manage or fix, and that's the real difficulty here, is in the management of the bad nature of this thing called life on Earth, that it wants to be parasitical, it wants to be a nasty bastard. And intelligence will be difficult. It's always difficult to impose on it. Put Frankenstein in a dress suit, and have him properly drink his tea. It's not easy, and that's the fundamental problem as human beings, and even just communicating with each other, is getting to some point where, we can have the conversation as something other than reactionary apes, and deal with what appears to be intractable, unresolvable dilemmas of the very nature of our existence, which is not pleasant. So anyway, these subjects would be, even the idea of what philosophy is, probably his first episode, I guess, and then free will and democracy, and then you can get into the potential for intelligent life in the universe, and then the realities of our dismal inefficiencies, virtual reality, transhumanism slash transhumanism, those subjects. So the idea would be to deal with a philosophical subject in each episode per month, so it really should be doable. The idea is to put this on public access TV and that kind of stuff, but who knows, I have bigger ambitions. The idea would be to even have segments of this thing that might be considered infomercial potential, in terms of at some point it might be realistic to run content intended to generate support for the content being generated. So different ideas. I guess that's the point of it, is just to see if there's some way to get some of these ideas migrated into public exposure, and to see if the argument can be made decisively and persuasively, and in some manner that's appealing to the taste of the common man, so to speak, and such. So I think, like I said, anybody who'd like to make contributions, the idea would be to keep the thing, not to have it stale. Like, just have an hour debate would be stale. So you're going to have segments that do different things within this context. So obviously there'd be some narration that maybe Old Fan will do, in that, migrating from and now for something completely different kind of thing. She could do the it's thing. We have to come up with our own way to break the content up a little bit, so then even if there's a part that somebody may not find appealing, there will be something coming that may keep them interested, and to keep it unstale and all that stuff as possible. But certainly in the center of it somewhere will be some kind of attempt to create a debate. And even if I have to debate cabbage or something, I'll do that. If we can't get proper guests, then I'll have a cabbage mock the world and say, look, you can't do better than this. You send me a cabbage to argue with. And I'll have the argument with a cabbage. Who cares? But anyway, so that would be a piece of the content. The other content would be more documentary, kind of 3 minute kind of pithy videos, maybe, or 5 minutes, 3 to 5 minute kind of things. We've done this before, the philosopher roundtable kind of idea, but yeah, just different little ways of trying to make the argument. Some animation, a show, a variety show. Except singing and dancing, I really don't want to put a bunch of singing and dancing in the show, so it won't have that kind of variety. I mean, all that song singing is nice, but I just don't think that's really, no. No, 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 no. We should be able to do it without that. Yeah, I think the idea is, look, it has lived, it has existed in human history, and even my history with media. Television once in a while got it right. There were PBS shows like Firing Line and Crossfire. Even, well, it's not PBS, but that turned into crap. So let's not even count that. Because that was just apes and talking heads. But there have been efforts to that seemed viable. They just didn't get supported. Let's say. I remember in my youth there was a philosophy show that just ran for one season, but it just took all the big wigs of the time and had them at a table arguing, which is a good idea, I think. Even like I said, if we do that in mock form until we can get somebody real to show up and answer some questions or make an argument. Yeah. So, so I'll just make some videos like this one explaining what's being done, and then I'll put the stuff that I'm playing with as ideas as videos on this channel. And they're not really. I mean, I don't need to be marketed in any way other than And if you want to participate, then just say I want to participate or something in the comments section. Acknowledge your capacity to perhaps edit video or write script or do something to contribute to the show. And like I said, I'll kind of make it all public in the sense of what as things get nailed down. And people can editorialize on what they think should be first or second or this or whatever, that kind of a thing. Alright, so 30 days from now I expect to have something called a show. Yeah, and even if it's just me doing different things, it'll be a show, and it'll be called the show, and it'll be the first episode of the show, the pilot. So maybe the actors will change for the, Star Trek completely changed. Well, not completely, but, its pilot episode, was, they got a new captain and, Spock got elevated in command rank. Yeah, well, anyway, and Dr. McCoy changed, and Scotty changed. Well, he didn't even exist in the pilot. But anyway, no point in going through all that, but I'm just saying, so maybe this pilot episode won't be the format, but we'll see where we end up, see what happens. I mean, I gotta find the energy to do. I just don't have it. I barely managed just this as a contribution, and I definitely have to do better than that. Oh, and I definitely have to hold this camera further away. I forgot about that, sorry. I have to put these cameras somewhere because or else I have to get some lenses to widen the angle. It's unfortunate that Flip made all these cameras with loud. I mean, there's just such handy cameras for, just handling wise, for doing this, and yeah, it's like, yeah, they're just totally useless as a vlogging camera because of the focal length. So anyway, ironically, yeah. I mean, it's called YouTube, and it's just kind of funny, just because it's like Flip was sort of selling itself as a YouTube-friendly kind of camera, and its file format YouTube hates, and it's not YouTube, it's ThemTube, because the camera's sort of made to be filming them, not you. So it's not really YouTube, it's ThemTube. Yeah. But anyway, that's probably won't be necessary to do a show on that problem. Find bigger fish to take care of than this or that. So anyway, anything else to add? So yeah, I don't have any. Yeah, I guess I have nothing to begin except that my beginning theme is going to be this first episode will deal with the nature of thinking. Words, vocabulary, and the argument sort of going to be made is that we make up these words, and we can make up words that are solid. In terms of describing something like this is a grapefruit. We don't. It doesn't get too complicated. It's pretty explicit. And we have other words like spiritual or some other silly word that doesn't mean anything. Piero just did some kind of silly video, whatever the hell it was called, and the two words put together mean nothing. The whole thing was nothing. It's just bibble babble, mushy words. You're just saying, well, why even bother? I mean, Matt does that too. Process, relationality, and individuality, humans and Whitehead or something. I mean, it's just process. What context are you using that word in? I mean, these words just don't mean anything, and that is the real failure of communication. Is that there has to be a clearly you have to if you're going to do this thing, we have to. It's all categories, and categories are a list of properties. It's categories and properties. That's going to be the argument made in the video. I mean, that's going to be the thing I would be defending, and that it's all logical math in a sense, but you can't do the math if you're saying stuff like almost 2 divided by just about 4. That's not going to work. You can't do this mushy language thing. You either have explicit words that mean explicit things, or you rewrite the language because it's no good. There's just no point in not having words of concepts that have common definition. They have to have a common definition, or it's all lost. Categories with common definition. So, leak in the roof, and it's making a mess of my plantings. Oh dear. Yes, what a tragedy. Oh, I gotta move that. Get this out of here. This is getting flooded. Spill some seeds into that other thing. Alright. Yeah, I have a failure to. I got too much stuff. Too little space. Something like that. Anyway, so many things to. I gotta clean the turtle's pen there. He's kind of grumpy. Look at the other little turtles. Got 3 new houses for him now. So I'll move him from one to the other. He's a little happy in there now, though. Nice and clean and sandy and such. Anyway, yeah. So that's way more than enough. I got a cut on my finger. Gloves did that. Stupid glove. The glove did it. I mean, I didn't even do any work that was, just that the glove I used has a rough interior, I guess, and it just rubbed a blister without me doing anything. I mean, physically challenging. So anyway, yeah, so that's it. So yeah, but things to come, and ways of doing things, and so there should, look, I said, really should be able to do this. 30 days, 1 hour of content that's, yeah, should be able to do that. Damn it. So it begins. VloggerDome for the 4th time resurrected as a concept. The idea will be to encourage this, like I said, the focal point will be some kind of debate in the middle of the show. And, yeah, that'll be the purpose, is to deal with the counter-arguments and such. Alright, until next time.